So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
Good morning, Tan. Good. How are you doing?
I am excellent. Even better now that I have you in the hot seat and on the tan line, because I have questions that need answers.
Let's do it.
The Emmy-Award winning Way brothers, you two have been busy. You are bringing so much entertainment to the scene. So who's the mastermind behind getting the script? Who's the mastermind that stays up to 4 o'clock in the morning, making sure that all of the creatives come together? Because I know this has got to be a great collaborative effort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the mastermind behind it all. It's really simple. I can answer that. We don't even need this guy, to be honest. We could interview me and you. No, we're brothers. We've been working together for 10 years. Mac does a lot of the research. He does all the interviews with the subjects. I do a little bit more of the editing and some of the filming, some of the creative stuff, and it's a great partnership. We haven't killed each other yet, so fingers crossed.
And and look, working with your brother, isn't that a documentary in the making itself? Because I mean.
It could be. It could be. There's definitely we've had some good arguments over the years that are definitely TV worthy.
Well, you definitely got it right with this one. Netflix and thrills. That's what we're here for. The Kings of Tupelo. It's a Southern crime saga. I'm here in Louisiana, and I'm thinking this is right next door. There's absolutely no way it can be this insane. Because I'm watching the snippet, an elephant got shot in the drive-by shooting. Make it all make sense.
That's only the beginning of the madness. But yeah, I mean, in 1999, an Elvis impersonator in Tupelo, Mississippi, which is the birthplace of Elvis Presley, he's working at the hospital as a janitor. He's cleaning up in the morgue and he uncovers a severed head with a lot of body parts. He becomes convinced he's uncovered a black market organ trade that's happening in Tupelo, in Mississippi, in the South. It leads him on a crazy conspiracy rabbit hole to state Congressman Steve Holland, Senator of Mississippi Roger Wicker, and eventually to President Barack Obama. All three of these individuals received poisonous, deadly letters in the mail. And our series looks into what happened here. Is Paul Kevin Curtis, the Elvis impersonator, is he guilty? Is he innocent? Is there someone else in the story that maybe set him up? And so it's a fun, wild ride.
You got to get to part 3 for all that stuff. Big detective.
Right. And while you're putting all of this together, how do you decide what's going to actually make the documentary and what falls on the cutting room floor? Because that's the stuff I want to see too.
I know it's not easy, and it's been about a 2.5, 3 year process of editing this. I mean, excuse me. What was also interesting about making this is essentially a documentary about a conspiracy theory. Like, it's Kevin, our main character, finds a severed head. He believes that there's a black market organ body parts trade happening in his town, in America, in Mississippi. And he goes on trying to piece together his organ trade, and he makes a lot of enemies. Now, simultaneously, he's feuding with someone else who is going to become involved in these ricin letters. So it's kind of this like crazy rabbit hole, but then it's almost like that corkboard where you have strings and you have your main characters. And to answer your question, it's not easy to make sense of a conspiracy theory, like when you're editing it, but you have to make sense of the conspiracies. But conspiracies are inherently confusing, so that was a big challenge. And then how do you make it like fun and entertaining? And hopefully the response has been good. Hopefully, I like to think that we managed that, but obviously you got to tune in and watch it as well.
Well, that part, and I'm telling everybody right now, get your popcorn, get all the good snacks, because we have to be here, and you have to watch it over and over and over again, because if you blink, you're going to miss something, because it's like this guy, you said he was an Elvis impersonator. Okay. And then he's a
Yes.
janitor at the hospital. So we see how
An
creative
Elvis
he
themed
is.
janitor, an Elvis
Yep.
themed janitor, which is
The
Really?
king of the king of
Really?
clean was
And if this is in 1989, this is before you've got mail. This is before any social media. So this guy is really living in a creative space that's not as norm as now. Because if people do things now, you just think it's a trend. You just think he set the trend in a different way.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a very creative individual, big imagination, grandiose ideas, and when he found this severed head, was convinced that it was part of this massive conspiracy. And like you said, it was kind of before conspiracies kind of became commonplace in our culture. So he was out in front of that whole trend, I believe, and I think this story takes an interesting look at his whole journey.
How did he go from taking it to a possible black market to sending threats to the president? Like, that's a big leap. What are we doing?
It is. And so, yeah, one of the first persons he reaches out to is he basically writes his own House resolution bill to ban the organ donation process. He wants to ban all sale and donations of organ parts, and he sends it to the state congressman. Well, the state congressman, Steve Holland, happens to own 3 of the largest funeral homes in the state of Mississippi, which is Kevin is convinced is part of this body parts trade. So that's kind of his first run-in with a politician. That then leads him to Senator Roger Wicker in Washington, D.C. Senator Wicker had actually hired Kevin as an Elvis impersonator to perform at a wedding. So Kevin comes into contact with Senator Roger Wicker, starts pressuring Wicker to help pass his House bill resolution. Kevin gets nowhere, and before you know it, politicians and Barack Obama are receiving poisonous letters.
Yeah, so actually, Steve Holland's mother was a judge in Tupelo, Mississippi. Kevin had gotten in some trouble by a run-in with the local DA, and Kevin ended up getting sentenced to 6 months in prison by Steve's own mother, and she was one of the ones that got rice letters. So it's like, but I got a caveat, and I don't want to ruin it because it's a big spoiler. But episode 3 is all about how not all is what it seems. So what we just laid out is the first 2 episodes.
Wow.
Episode 3 is a whole new perspective into what actually happened. And it's a little hard to talk about without spoiling it, but that's certainly what the climax of the series is.
That's okay. You can keep me at the trailer, because all of that is just building the suspense. Like, oh no, you've got to be here. You've got to see this. This is definitely a hashtag and retweetable moment. And so since I see that you're inking it, I know that you're working on something next with America's self-proclaimed team. And I have to say that because we're in Saints Nation. So I just have to say that disclaimer. But we're excited to see what else you're working on with the Cowboys. We are excited about all the things that you're bringing. And the Kings of Tupelo. Okay, so if Mississippi is scratching, I see you're making your way to Texas. You've got to come to Louisiana. You got to get here.
I know. It was actually, we had a trip planned down to New Orleans, and then it was like the craziest thunderstorms I've ever had in my life when I was in Northeast Virginia, and it was like, I don't think anyone's getting on the road today, but next time for sure, we got to get there.
Look, it's a sign. Don't let it hold you up from further greatness. And I am your official tour guide.
I was willing to drive. It was this guy that was scared, all right?
Exactly. Look, I am super proud of both of you, and I am excited to see this. The Kings of Tupelo, this is a saga that we cannot afford to miss. I've got questions that need answers. You gave me the inside scoop. But no, I got to go press play. I don't have time to play with y'all right now. You know what I mean? This is too good.
It's wildly entertaining and funny, and I think people will enjoy it. Go watch. It's on Netflix, top 5 today. So go click play.
That's right. Exclusively streaming on Netflix. And I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So whenever you have anything going on, feel free to jump in the hot seat and on the tan line. I know you've got more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Appreciate you. Great talking.
Anytime.
Bye-bye.